Hello and good day to you, my beautiful friends. I do hope you're well. Welcome to episode 125 of CrossButton VR, our journey into the world of VR. I'm your host, Reece, and it's an honour to be reunited once again with Alex.
Hello.
Reunited and it feels so good.
I can't believe you're still using that intro.
Yeah,
Hello, my beautiful friends. I
Yeah.
could never pull that one off. I thought you'd have sacked that by now.
Yeah, I thought I'd just keep it for continuity, but maybe I should change it to a bit more. I don't know.
All right.
Right, you fucker. Welcome to CrossButton VR.
That sounds a bit better, eh?
That sounds like Ben's doing it, though, doesn't it?
Ben doing you.
Ben doing me, eh?
Hey.
Right. Straight away get Alex back, and this is how it's going to be. I've been looking forward to this. This has made my week. I've been really excited for this.
That's nice. It's nice to be loved.
It is. I mean, you still get some people commenting, saying, I say not commenting as much. I've had messages now. The comments have stopped, but asking where Alex is. Laurie, sadly, I've not had any about you anymore. Although we did have a few about your eyes and things like that, which was a bit weird.
Yeah, but none that were that appropriate, I guess.
Yeah, I've not had anything like that about you, Alex.
No.
Other than your Lego. Cool, that man's got a nice Lego set. Ooh. Have you got another shelf? Wait.
No, that was that one.
PlayStation's moved. Where's your TV gone now? Is your TV
it's over here.
Ah, you've moved it all around.
I have.
So this is the issue with the Mimic's Val. I don't have a video to kind of see the updates of your room, and that's the actual sad reality of that.
Well, there you go. You're getting a wee peek in it tonight.
Yeah. Where's the Lord of the Rings one gone? Is that on the right over there?
See.
Yeah. Okay, so I can see that one there.
See how I can't use my hands here?
Yeah, you haven't done this for so long, have you? You've forgotten how to use a camera. You poor soul. Still got the controllers in the same spot. Your Quest has moved by about 3 or 4 slots.
Yeah. PSVR2 does sit next to it, but not to give too much away, but half the reason why I'm here is because I've been using it.
Yep. Finally dragged him back.
Uh-huh.
And that's how something good has released, or, will be releasing today, is because I suppose we might as well just jump straight into it.
Can do.
We've been playing Into Black. And it's pretty fucking amazing, isn't it?
It is. It's very impressive. Looks not spectacular is maybe overdoing it. But it looks very good and it's incredibly crisp and it's a nice wee game as long as you're playing with the right people. So
should we get on to the right people?
Yeah. But no, it's very good, but I'll let you say a wee bit more about it.
I mean, I think we both looked at this before when it originally came to Quest, didn't we? But we never got round to playing it. We was quite intrigued by it. And then I think about 6 months after that, we heard maybe it might be coming to PSVR2. And then now it's finally here. And they kind of said they're going to be doing all the bells and the whistles of the PSVR2. So, I mean, that kind of excited us in that point because when a port of a Quest game is done right, you kind of go, is this actually a Quest game? And I think that's always the argument with PSVR2 players. When a Quest game comes over and it's not done with all that kind of care, they instantly just kind of disregard it, which I don't always agree with because they do miss out on some good games if they do that. But Into Black is one that is seriously taking advantage of every piece of that hardware. And I mean, I've not played the Quest version, but I can only imagine this has exceeded it in every possible way and to the point where the developers finally got the game they maybe wanted to see in the first place. I think the one thing that needs to be said with a game called Into Black is you're going to be seeing a lot of darkness, and I was so happy to see no Mura whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because that would have ruined this completely. If you saw Mura straight away, you'd be like, nah, I'm done. But it was impressive.
Yeah, they've handled that incredibly well, and I think even you notice straight from the title screen, because Into Black is in black, and it's just pure, crisp OLED black. And you're like, they've done a good job here. And I know, obviously, it's been a wee while since I've been on here, but I remember when we were talking about Into the Radius, and we said how good that was basically the gold standard of PSVR2 ports at that point in time, and I think they've done as good a job here in terms of the utilisation of the features and taking their time and actually getting the end product that they wanted in terms of using the haptics, using the headset haptics, using the adaptive triggers. I'm assuming it's got eye track foveated rendering. You can correct me if I'm
pretty
sure
assuming
it must do.
It feels too crisp not to have it, doesn't it?
Yeah. But it's a lot of fun. a lot to do as well.
Yeah, I think that's one thing I think we're really going to have to touch in on because literally, I think just for us, I mean, so the first time we played it, we all jumped in. It was me, you, Hippie Pickle, and Jammy Hero. We all jumped in for the first time, and that was everyone experiencing it for the first time as well, which I think was quite a nice little experience on its own.
Yeah.
Apart from the overwhelming amount of team killing from everyone.
I mean, I was doing it in a nice way, right? When I was having friendly fire, I was doing it when we were in the hub where it didn't actually matter and we could just
Yeah, that's a
shoot
valid
and
point.
play and kill people because I mean, why not? Like that's what we're here for. But when we get out onto the battlefield and we're in amongst the bugs and stuff, and then suddenly you have been killed by Happy Pickle. And I'm like, oh come on, Happy. It was like, I don't mean it, I don't mean it. And then you get it again, and you're like, you have been killed by Happy Pickle. Like, you didn't mean it again. He's like, no, I just pulled it. And I'm like, come on.
He's gonna love this.
Yeah, like it's just it might be a little bit of character assassination, but that I can tell you, and Jamie will corroborate this, that it's incredibly
I've said it countless
accurate.
times, Alex. He's gunning for your slot, mate. He has.
Mm-hmm.
In the Discord, he's been trying to outrank you. I mean, he's seriously gunning for your spot. So maybe he was just feeling like, oh no, Reece and Alex are back together again. I can't have this. I need to kind of wriggle my way in. Maybe that's it. Who knows?
And maybe I need to be looking out my windows and see if there's actual like sniper rifles coming for me.
You just open your window later, and there's a colourful bearded man
Yeah.
standing outside, just staring back up at you.
I'm like, what's that little bit of luminous hair over there? I'm, oh fuck, here he is.
Alex was killed by Hippie Pickle. He just comes up on the screen.
He's just holding the sign.
Could you imagine? But yeah, no, I mean, we jumped into that. We did because you can't do the tutorial together. And I mean, the tutorial was really short, but I mean, I think the tutorial itself kind of shows you overall every capability of this game straight off the bat. It gives you a bit of head haptics, controller haptics. It lets you sense the dark of the actual caves and things like that. Because there is a story, and it does say you've crash landed on a planet. And this is the one thing that I do find quite funny on it, that you've crash landed. And the story is kind of elevating itself as we've been going on, and we've been enjoying that. But it says you've crashed on a planet, but then you're walking through caves. So is this one planet just one big cave kind of thing?
Well, you've just sunk right into the cave, essentially.
Just sunk into, yeah, I assume that's the case, but it's like, hopefully maybe there is like, I doubt there's going to be any kind of outside areas, but the caves are large. They're not like tight, narrow spots like you're playing, like Spelunking VR or anything. You've got these freedom movements. I mean, I think in some regards it's going to be compared to like No Man's Sky and things like that, just simply because it's resource gathering type of thing. But I think that's an unfair comparison, only because I think if you compare it to No Man's Sky, people are going to expect this really, really top-notch high fidelity game. And I'm not saying Into Black isn't high fidelity in any way. It's I just think they're two very different games. This has resource management as a term of gathering to kind of, like you said, upgrade your stuff, whereas No Man's Sky is to build a base and things like that. And
it's a whole different beast. I mean, it's nowhere near the same depth.
Yeah,
I think it. I know when we first started playing, it was mentioned a few times in terms of, oh, that's not how this is, but it's not so much. It's you've got all these different minerals and resources and rocks and stuff that you can collect, and you need to upgrade different parts of the weapons. And as you progress through the story, it gives you different weapons and tools to use to start to extract them. And then that is mainly for upgrading your weapons and your suit and your whips and all the different things that you end up with.
Yeah. But no, I think the upgrading element side of this, I think that's one thing that's constantly making me go, I want to play more of this. I want to jump back in. Like, seriously, like, if you don't go straight to bed after this, we're going on Into Black. That's how much I'm kind of addicted to this game. And it's the one thing, like, if I didn't have other things to do, I think I would spend all my time playing this at the moment. It's incredibly addictive, and the gameplay loop is certainly something that is doing it for me. And I mean, I do like resource gathering. I like bettering yourself in games gradually. And I mean, there's only one niggly bit with the upgrade, and I think we've all kind of said this. Like when you kind of have to craft, say, like you're crafting biofuel, but you need 10 of it to upgrade something. You can't click +10 and craft it. You have to craft it 10 times. So you have to watch the animation of this crafting thing happen 10 times. And that's my only kind of like gripe against the game in a sense, just because it makes this crafting system go from something you can do quite quickly in between levels to actually something you kind of need to do when everyone's doing it or when you're
Yeah,
in a game by yourself.
it's definitely not quick.
No.
And it's that way. The other thing that not frustrated me, but that I think would make it better if you knew what you could craft. There's nothing to kind of show you. Obviously, when you
That's a
click
valid
into
point.
each of the items, it will tell you what you've got enough to craft, but there's no sort of indicators on the item name itself to say craftable or not craftable type thing, which would just make it a wee bit easier and a bit more intuitive as well. But I mean, you probably can and can't craft depending as much as you want. You probably don't even need to craft if that's not what you want to do in the game
Yeah.
because it's got enough difficulty levels and accessibility options to basically not need to upgrade anything.
Yeah, you can jump back through. I say you can jump back through. I've not seen if we can kind of go back on our missions. Can we? It kind of seems it's pushing us ahead, which is obviously what you'd
Yeah,
want. But you have obviously resource gathering missions, and then also we noticed there was timed missions, which wasn't there the first time we played. These have kind of appeared now, and we didn't jump into those just yet. But we've kind of done a resource mission, we've done the main missions. We're kind of intrigued by the story, but at the same point, I
yeah.
feel like we both kind of know where it's going, if that makes sense.
It feels. Hopefully, it surprises us, but it
I
kind of
hope
feels
so.
like you know where it's headed. But
Yeah, it does feel like they've kind of doing every sci-fi story just rolled into one, and you're kind of like, I've seen this before, type of thing. But voice acting's good. Jonathan,
yeah,
I can't commend that whoever's doing the voice acting for the character Jonathan. Literally, I just want to stand by and just listen to whatever he says. It's just great, especially when we came back after the last mission we did the other night when we played, and he was like, "Oh, you've been gone for so long," and he started panicking. He was
yeah,
like, "Oh, I've just been in stasis this whole time," and it's just, I don't know, it's just quirky, it's funny, and it really kind of breaks up this whole kind of you're trapped on this planet, this is serious kind of situation, and I've been enjoying that side of it quite
yeah,
a lot. Um, but another thing you noticed as well, which I had never spotted, and I'm saying this because explore the hub. There is a lot of stuff in there. I didn't know you could upgrade your inventory, so I jumped in with Alex, and he's like, "Oh, you can come down here and show me this whole new screen that I've not even seen. We can upgrade our inventory so we can hold more resources each level." And I was like, "Okay, this is a game changer because we've been coming back with like 80 quartz every
yeah.
time and not realizing we could hold more."
Yeah, and I think probably to that point, all the screens will almost appear black to you most of the time until you walk up to them.
Yeah,
So you don't necessarily realise that there's more features and options available to you until you actually do properly explore all the different screens that are around you in the hub. So that was how I noticed that. I was just wandering around like to the bottom bit and the way out, and I'm like, oh, what's this do? Because there's another one that manages like everything that you're actually got in your inventory
yeah,
and stuff like that as well. And then there's lifts and it takes you all over the place. And there's it's definitely, as I say, I know I said earlier it doesn't have the depth of No Man's Sky. It doesn't, but there is depth to it. It's not like
yeah.
it has its own level of depth, and I think a good level of depth level of depth for a
Level.
VR game.
I also found it quite surprising as well that you can actually walk off the ship as well on the hub area and walk back
Yeah,
down to where the tutorial was and all that kind of stuff. I found that quite surprising. I was like, I didn't think they were going to allow that. I thought they were going to kind of close off that area once you've had it, but you can just kind of walk out there a little bit and just have a little nose around, which was pretty cool. Obviously, you
yeah,
can't go too far down because of obviously elements that happen, which I'm not going to say, but it's pretty cool nonetheless.
yeah, and it's quite nice because you can see when you're in the ship. It's a living world that's outside you. You see everything moving around,
Yeah,
and like it does. It is a nice, lively hub rather than just this kind of standard. Oh, you're just in this room until you go. There's a lot to see and do, and then there's a whole other world to explore in terms of like PVE because
I
we've
was
only
going to
done
jump in
PV.
that. Yeah,
No PvP. We've only done like PVE. There's a PV.
yeah, it's a PvPe mode. It's called Singularity. And I'm going to be honest with you, I think this is the first time I've played a game where instantly I've said, I'm not interested in the PvP mode. Now, this comes from who plays PvP a lot on games, and I was just not bothered to try it. Every time I've jumped in co-op, and it has mostly been with you. Did it the other night again. I think we went on for about 2 hours.
Yeah.
We did it. That didn't sound too good, but hey ho, let's push on for it. Yeah, we played for about 2 hours. I think the time we played with all four of us, it was again about 2 hours. Um, and I think I did a little bit as well with. I think I did. I did a little bit with Andreas as well, and he had a few issues with the game here and there, but I'll touch on those in a bit when we kind of round up all maybe
Is
some
it too
issues.
scary for him?
He did scream a couple of times, bless him. I'll touch on why he screamed because where this has a really great drop in, drop out co-op system, and I think it's great because it allows you to carry on progressing. But your friend that's not progressed since you played with them last, you can drop into their game and carry on playing with them, but you gather resources, but they progress through the story. As soon as it hits that part where you are on that story, it kind of progresses you as well. And I thought that was really well done because it means you can kind of play on your own, but also help your buddy out as and when, but not kind of
Yeah.
feel like you're wasting your time. And I did find that out because I jumped into one mission, did one of my missions, and I was like, "Well, no, I've done this mission before." And then we did another mission. We had to do, I think we did like 2 missions back to back twice, which
Yeah,
is a bit
because I
weird.
think basically you'd got kicked out and then I'd became the leader
Yeah,
and then it
it was odd.
moved us back. Yeah, it was weird.
It was really weird, but at the end of the day, I mean, we kind of left with some good items, some resources, so we was happy about that. But yeah, so with Andreas, because, and I'm going to say this: if you do play with your friends, but say one of you just started playing it and he's got to like he's got to like mission 5, I'd urge him to join or them to join your game as opposed to you joining their game because you won't have weapons. So you won't have a pistol until you do the first mission, and then a few missions later you'll get some other stuff without going what mission and all that kind of stuff. But the first mission, pistol, that's all I'm going to spoil in that sense there. But if you join their game, you will not have any of that. So they will literally have to carry you from point to point while you're just kind of standing there with your mining laser, hoping it's doing it. And I think it only does like maybe 12 damage each time. To be fair, the mining laser, once you've upgraded, is actually a bit of a beast. But
Yeah, I quite like it.
yeah, I started using that a lot more. But yeah, I mean, in simple terms, if you've been playing it a while, join your friend's game, help them out, and then kind of once they've got their weapons, progress with yours or progress with theirs, whatever you want to do. But don't let them join you straight off the bat without helping them get a few weapons because it will just be a bit like I think it'd be a bit of a boring experience for them. Not boring, but maybe a bit more challenging in that sense. But I mean, in terms of gameplay, I'm having a blast. There's a lot of stuff like the caves show a different environment each time. I say different environment, but it's more so more lighting in a sense. Like we had an underwater one, which was pretty cool.
Yeah. And there's a kind of mix of like as the story unfolds, it's got a mix of styles. As you see more sort of not landscape, but design choices in terms of the worlds intertwining. But yeah, the caves are nicely lit. You can upgrade different parts of you. So you always at the beginning you need to like use a flare gun.
Yeah,
And the
with
flare
torch
gun's
on it.
actually very cool because you shoot it
I love
and
how
it
it's
kind of
made.
lights it your way. Like it's very very well done. But as you progress, you'll upgrade to have like torches in different places or like a head torch and stuff like that to kind of light your way. And then the other things are like there's some nice puzzle mechanics
Oh
built in throughout
yes,
the way as well, which I really appreciate. Like it's the puzzles to open like the different chests and stuff that you find. Like some of them are just kind of physical puzzles where you need to like light a ring for it to open, or there's other ones where it's like a grid and you need to join all the different colours together through the grid
yeah,
without crossing the wires and stuff. And it, depending on basically how big a reward the bigger the size of the chest, the harder
yeah,
the
exactly.
puzzle is to open it, which I think is a nice touch.
I think they broke up the game in the best way possible to the point where I kind of every time we had one of those, it was more so I went to the chest because I wanted to do them, not because I was caring what was inside of the chest. They were enjoyable over
Yeah,
time. They weren't too difficult. Sometimes they were a bit of like this one's a bit more tedious than the other, but not to the point where you're like, oh, I can't do this. This is incredibly frustrating. Um, I really appreciate those kind of to the point where I kind of just want somebody to make a whole game of me doing different style puzzles like that in VR and kind of looking all around at these different points. So yeah, Binary Mill, if you want to do like a little spin-off game of just puzzles like that, you at least have one style in me, I tell you, because yeah, that was enjoyable.
yeah, and there's a good variety of puzzles as well because you have the
Yeah,
ones in the chest, you have the ones on like the comms units, you have the
yep.
ones on the
There's
actual like plants themselves and stuff, like the things you're
yeah,
extracting. Some of them have got almost a little puzzle mechanic to actually extract them.
yeah. It's like a balancing one, that one, isn't it? It looks a bit
Yeah,
weird. Like if you watch your friend doing that, it does look a little bit weird what they're doing with their hands. So I mean, it adds some humorous moments, but at the same point, it's it's kind of like a balancing thing. You got like 2 points. You have to kind of hold the ball in between the areas, so you're constantly kind of like having to go like that with your controller. Hence why it looks quite humorous in the game. And obviously there was that with the one you said about the comms machine. That's very similar. I think it's exactly the same as Resist. So if anyone's played Resist, you'll feel at home with that puzzle. It's very simple, kind of like close off the comms, pull out the CPU type thing, and plop it back in. I mean, so much so that they've even got a Resist poster inside of the cabinet, kind of thing. Which is it's kind of like, well, how did that get here, kind of thing. But hey ho, free advertisement where you can. But no, I don't know. There's just so many good elements to this game that just make it all feel right to the point where it's just incredibly fun to play every time we played it. I don't think we played it and went, oh, I've had enough, I want to come off. It's always been like it's like, okay, we're going to come off now because I feel like we're actually kind of disregarding our time here and not really noticing how long we've been playing for. I think if we carry on, we're going to be going for like the next 5 hours and not even notice until our controllers run out, which will be less than 5 hours.
I mean, I think the only point we ended up getting to the stage where we wanted to come off the elevators was something we had to do was really high. We got so next.
Oh yeah, it was going for the yeah. It was mining. Was it titanium?
Gold or titanium or something? I can't remember.
You was literally both up with our necks like that. It was yeah. The thing is, because I remember looking at you, your character's neck was bent so far back. It was actually quite humorous to watch. But yeah, and I think as a game itself, like there's a lot of things it does right, and there's only a few little issues that I think could be fixed with quality of life patches. I think some of them, I don't know if you've encountered them as much as I know Jammy encountered one similar to what I did. Although I'm kind of starting to question was if we actually had a bug there or if we just disregarded a certain healing element in the game. Because when you don't heal yourself, all the audio kind of cops out to the point to kind of make it sound like you're numbed. But at the same point, it's like we were like, oh, this game's not working, but we weren't dying when we was getting hit. So we kind of thought it was a bug, but I'm starting to think that was actually...
That actually is one of the things if you're getting healed.
And then I also had a stupid moment where I thought, I can't see my axe. But I accidentally, I think I may have threw it on the floor and not retrieved it, hence why it wasn't in my hand. But it was actually letting me mine with an invisible axe, so maybe not so much.
Because it was the same with one of the weapons that we got, and we thought there was a bug because it's basically for collecting biomass, which you start collecting really early on, and then it disappeared. But our biomass was full, so it wasn't letting you use it, which I think makes sense because you basically be doing it for nothing because that is all that weapon is for.
Yeah, I think that's actually I think that might be an actual rhyme and reason for that one as well. So I think a lot of the things that maybe come across as bugs, I think after you kind of play a little bit and go, 1 minute, was that actually a bug? Now, the one bug I definitely know was 100% a bug was when I played with Andreas, we went through the level and it asked us to collect these green flowers. And we collected them, and the dial meter wasn't going up. So I said to him, okay, I know how to finish the level anyway. Let's just kind of see whether it has kind of soft locked itself there and just progress on through. So we went to the end of the level, and we extracted, and it didn't complete the mission. And it did actually kind of lock on that part there where it wouldn't let us retrieve the items. So we went back in, and it let us do it again. And it was absolutely fine with no issues. But it was kind of like we still got all the resources, so it wasn't really a waste of time nonetheless.
Yeah.
So like even when something goes wrong, it doesn't feel like a waste of time. But yeah, I think in terms of bugs, like I think a lot of the stuff I'm seeing as bugs might not even be that. It's like I think there may be one here and there, but nothing dire to the point where it's like a big issue. But yeah, I'm having a great time. I want to continue playing more. I'm going to continue playing more. I think obviously we're recording this on the Friday. I think my weekend, this bank holiday weekend, is going to be pretty much jumping into it a good few times. So prepare for your phone being absolutely hammered with messages going, "You coming on, Alex?" So,
sorry, I'm busy. Twice was enough. I mean, twice is good going.
I was going to say that's actually how you know a game is good. Is when Alex goes, "Oh yeah, I'll play that again." That's how you know. And you've only done it a handful of times with multiplayer games that have shooting elements in it. And I think I always kind of look at that as a very good way to determine when a VR game is actually fun to play. Is when somebody who hates multiplayer. Well, you don't hate multiplayer. I think you dislike.
I don't like shooting a multiplayer.
You don't like big multiplayer though, do you? Like you'll play like a little bit of multiplayer and things like that. But
depends on the game. But yeah, I'm not a general multiplayer. Yeah, I mean, as soon as we eradicated the issue, it's fine.
But yeah, so I mean, from my perspective, I highly recommend you pick it up. I don't see any reason why you shouldn't. In terms of a Quest port to PSVR2, it's definitely up there as one of the best. I think it now kind of finds its place next to Into the Radius, Max Mustard, and now Into Black is there. It's such a fantastic port, and yeah, I'm having such a good time with it. So one
Don't go
last
in
thing.
looking for issues. Just go in and enjoy it.
Yeah, and there's one other thing that needs to be mentioned. If you've ever wanted a God of War Ragnarok style axe throwing mechanic, or even God of War 2018 axe throwing mechanic, just stand there and throw your pickaxe a few times and just watch it kind of fly back to you. It's one of the best feelings in gaming history to kind of experience that type of axe throwing mechanic, but in VR where you're actually putting your hand up and grabbing it yourself.
Probably the closest you're going to get, to be fair.
Yeah, there you go, Sony. Just contact Binary Mill. You're sorted right there. They've already got the mechanic locked in. So, but no, very good. Definitely gets the stamp of approval.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, it
well,
brought me back here. You just clicked that button and I retrieved.
I mean, there is a few other games you played, right?
Is there?
I don't know. I thought you played more.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. We'll soon find out. But before that, we'll quickly, and I say very quickly, go through all the news because there is a few things that have kind of popped up this week and some of last week when we had John on. I didn't get to cover some of the news and some bits I wanted to kind of mention, but mainly this week we've got Reach. It's finally been given a release date of the 16th of October, and you can now pre-order it on PlayStation. Very much looking forward to this one. I don't think we need to really say much about it unless you kind of want to say anything about it, Alex. You've not had your word on this one.
You know, I like an End Dreams game.
Yeah, it's End Dreams.
Yeah,
they know what they're doing.
I'm hopeful I'll give this one a try.
I'm sure you will, my friend. Deadpool VR has also been given a release date of the 18th of November. I'm more optimistic after I've heard people from Gamescom allowed to kind of say what they thought of the demo there. And a lot of people have been kind of saying they've enjoyed themselves, but at the same point, it's kind of like I'm very much like I want to try something myself before I hear somebody else's thoughts, and then I can kind of compare notes and things like that. It looks fun. I don't feel like it's going to be the same level of game as Batman for me because I think Batman hit the nostalgia point for me, whereas I think Deadpool is gonna. I need it to be funny. I need it to have them quips, and if it's not all done perfectly, it kind of all falls apart in Deadpool's manner because he is 80% his humor, and without that, I don't know. So I'm intrigued. I'm optimistic, but at the same point, I'm going to go in quite tempered expectations.
Yeah. And I think it's really hard to do a character like Deadpool, particularly where he's so well known now as Ryan Reynolds, and then to put Neil Patrick Harris in there, and there's just going to be so much expectation for it to be that Ryan Reynolds Deadpool that you're almost starting like in the back foot already.
Exactly.
And you're like, hopefully it comes along and hopefully it surprises us. I'm not sitting here going, oh, I need to play this. It's not really. For all I love Deadpool and everything, I don't really know why it's not kind of screaming at me like, "Oh, this is amazing! You need to play it." Like it's not got that pull for me.
Is it not got the pull for you?
No,
has it not got the Deadpool for you? I mean, yeah, it has everything going for it for me. I mean, it has the graphics. You know, I like cel shaded graphics. It has, gore, shooting. Zany, quippy kind of dialogue. I mean, it has everything I could want from a video game, but again, I'm in the same shoes as you. Like, I'm excited to play it, but at the same point, I don't know if I will just kind of like lounge towards it. Lunge towards it. There we go. Fucking hell, I can't even talk today. That pizza's destroyed me. But yeah, I mean, it's one of the things where I could, if I have the opportunity to play it and the opportunity to cover it, I'll be more than happy to do so. And I think, to be fair, what am I saying? If it comes out on release, I'll probably still buy it anyway. So yeah, it's not giving me that Batman vibe. But I think Batman did something to me, and I think that's because it was the Arkham series.
What did he?
Alfred. Yes, he did. Next up with the announcements was Star Trek Infection, which is announced for Quest 3 and PC VR, with no mention of PSVR2 at this point in time. It's a story narrative game set in the Star Trek universe. I don't know if you've seen anything about this one.
I've seen a little bit, but as soon as I see Star Trek, I kind of switch off. I'm much more of a Star Wars than a Trekkie person.
So I was actually quite shocked to see this is made by the people that made Mixture.
All right.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay. So I was kind of trying to dig through to see if they've made anything. I can't really see they've made anything like this before, but maybe I've missed some of their other games. But I know the last game is Mixture, so I was kind of shocked to see them go from something like that to this. And I mean, with such a big IP as well, like a very, very loved IP. But again, some people have had hands on, especially at Gamescom. And I think one of the things I've read is like, if you don't like horror games, this might not be for you. So it does seem like they're steering towards kind of a horror element as well.
Oh, it
Um,
doesn't sound like it's for me then.
yeah, and I don't know. I mean, I kind of like the look of it. I do like the look of the graphics, but I think from the get go, I have no interest in Star Trek. So I think this game has a lot more. It has to do a lot more to kind of win me over. It's like with the Peaky Blinders game. I somewhat enjoyed some of my time with it, but I also didn't at the same time because I wasn't really in, twined with that world or anything like that. But at the
Yeah.
same point, I can appreciate it from a very big fan of the game. But for me, it was kind of like this is a game that has some mild shooting elements and a lot of talking of characters I don't really know. So I have made it my effort at the moment to actually watch Peaky Blinders, and I'm going to go back in and try it and see if it changes anything. We'll soon see.
I mean, that's a big commitment.
Yeah, I've watched 4 episodes so far, and I've not went back to it. Now it's about 2 weeks ago, so it kind of says a lot. It just doesn't stick with me. But it looks interesting nonetheless. I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Next announcement was Dread Meridian. It was announced as an atmospheric VR survival horror for Quest and PC VR. Again, it looks creepy, and I only saw this one actually. I didn't see it because of any trailer that popped up. I only saw the trailer eventually after I think it was either Without Parole when the game cats it's all kind of just hammered onto Twitter to tag in the developer to the point where I was like, oh, now this is on my feed and I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
It looks pretty good. It does. The graphics look decent. It looks creepy as hell. And I was like, games like this are the ones that kind of should be announced for PSVR2 at the same time. These are the type of games that they kind of want more so than anything else. Um, but yeah, it looks good nonetheless, and I'm kind of looking forward to jumping into that one. So, um, next up in the news, because I forgot to cover this one last week, is PSVR2 now has dynamic foveated rendering and eye tracking on PC. I'm not going to be trying this anytime soon. I'm going to be 100% honest here. I tried the PSVR2 adapter. I'm not going to let you comment on this one, Alex, because I think it'll be even more laughable. I tried the PSVR2 adapter. I did the stream with it. I did my video on it after kind of using it for some time. I used it a few more times after that. And then I end up having to, I say end up having to, I got sent a game to cover on PSVR2. And then I had to connect my controllers back again. And then I reconnected them back to the PC a few more times after that. And I kind of got sick and tired of doing that every time. And I was like, the Quest doesn't really kind of ruin my view in VR on PC anyway. I'll just stick back to that. But I am looking forward to trying this. I just don't have my PSVR2 adapter at the moment. It's currently in storage still.
Did the PS5 update fix that as well for the Sense controllers? Or was it
No,
only the Dual Sense that
have
now can switch?
have they put the update out already?
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll have to ask Jamie. I've not tried it.
I don't know if it. I'd never ever seen it mention the Sense controllers, but I'm sure, unless it's still in the beta, because I have the beta software. But I'm not sure.
You saucy man! How dare you?
But I thought it had released.
Yeah, I mean, I'll mention what Jamie said in his video. It works, but if you have an AMD graphics card, I think it only works with like 4 games. So it does seem like the mod is more catered to NVIDIA, which again, I say makes sense. Certain drivers for AMD do cause some issues with VR. Not all the time, but sometimes their driver will come out and it'll cause some issues. But I'm not too sure as to why this one works off of just AMD. I think Jamie explains it in his video, so by all means, hop over to our good friend Jamie and watch his video about it. Only a few more bit of news, and then we can get to talking about some games. Next up, Of Lies and Rain is coming September the 10th to early access on Quest and Steam. They did try and put it through the process of getting the early access model on PSVR2, but Sony disregarded it, which people have kind of been asking this quite a lot because obviously we have Phasmophobia on PlayStation, which is an early access game. I can only assume this is a case by case decision when it comes to Sony of what games are going to go on their platform that are early access. I'm not too sure how they decide it, but I'm assuming certain ones that are maybe have updates coming all the time and have kind of been on the market for so long to the point where they know they're dedicated. And well, Kinetic Game has a bit more push, I think, in that sense as well. So that might be why. But at the end of the day, they are going to be working on it. They're going to be finishing up, and then they'll be coming to PSVR 2. But anyone that has a Quest and Steam and wants to play it in early access, it comes on September the 10th. We spoke about the demo recently. It's quite a lot of fun. Next up, one of my favourites, one of my favourite games in VR is getting an update. Tactical Assault VR. Alex, do you remember this one?
Oh, I do. Is
You
this,
love
I
Tactical
remember,
Assault.
like, blowing myself up, trying to go through a wall or something.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Well, they've announced a SWAT DLC, which I think is called Operation Dahlia. I should have wrote that part down, but it's something Dahlia. But it comes on the 4th of September, and it's their first paid DLC. All their updates have been free up to this point, which I think is quite nice. They've done a lot of level packs and things like that, and they've never charged anything for them. And this one is $9.99, so probably like $7.99 in Great British pounds. I did see some comments in the chat at the time saying, "Oh, you're releasing a paid DLC," but seeing as they've never done paid before and they've done all that content before, I kind of feel like it's about time they did kind of do a paid DLC. But anyways, it includes 5 new maps. They'll be free on release, and then 2 more by the start of 2026. I say start of 2026, first quarter of 2026. And there's some other cool bits as well, camos and things like that. So it looks really good. I'll definitely be jumping into this and sharing my thoughts on that because, yeah, Tactical Assault for me is still one I jump into quite heavily, even if it's
You
solo.
did very much,
Yeah,
very much enjoy that.
it clicked to me. There's something about that game because I mean we covered it on I want to say the first or second side quest episode. Remember those?
Potentially, yeah.
Oh, remember those? The old side quest episodes.
What was
Didn't
that
feel
guy's
one.
name that used to do that with us again?
Sam
Stuart.
Stewart.
No.
That sounds about right. Song.
Ah, that was that.
There we go. There we go. Yeah. I haven't heard from him much lately. Well, I mean, Sean, if you're still around, please say hello.
We jest. Sorry,
yeah,
Sean.
we do. Yeah, he knows us. But anywho, that's enough of the news. Let's talk about some more games because there have been a few different games that have come this week as well to PSVR2. But I want to know if you've played any more, Alex. And I also want to ask for your thoughts on one other game that I know you have played.
Right. So I have played Hidden Memories of the Garden Between.
Okay, cool.
Which is lovely. The dioramas and everything, how it's presented and converted to VR is very, very nice. It's just I expected it to be a little bit more VR-y.
Yeah, that was exactly my faults.
It's almost like you're sitting and I really enjoyed this game when it released a good few years ago now, I think. And it's just basically you go from one end, basically you've got all these little dioramas and you're solving a puzzle from like A to B using like if you go forward, time goes forward, and if you go back, time basically goes back to a certain extent. And it's all about then solving how you light these different lanterns essentially as you go through. And there are some nice little touches here, like the hidden memories bit of what they've done. So you're trying to like basically you're just hands around this big circular diorama and you can move it and manipulate it and stuff. And you can either use your hand and pinch to move time, or you can physically just use the thumbsticks to move it left and right. But you get basically a memory book alongside like the main story in this one, and you need to find things within the levels to fill the memory book, which is a nice addition.
The memory book wasn't in the original at all, was it?
No, I think that's new.
Yeah, because I didn't remember that at all. Because I've also been playing this a little bit, and I completely agree with you. Like, while I like the look of it, and it still has its magical charm that the non VR version has in every single way, it just doesn't feel like it's VR enough. Even so much so to like the point where you find these things to go in the memory book, and it kind of like you kind of look at it, and then it just kind of stretches your arm out to grab it. You don't kind of reach out and grab it yourself, do you?
You can if you want to.
Okay, but I have a chair in front of me, so I was standing behind the chair, and I was scared of what I was going to hit. I don't know this room very well at the moment, so yeah. But I suppose you could do that. But yeah, there was certain things that I liked about it. And I know I'll continue playing it because, just like you, I enjoyed the original version.
Yeah, I think it's one of those. If you have never played the original version, it's a lovely game to play anyway. So I would highly recommend picking it up.
Yeah,
if you have, it doesn't add a lot to it, but it does add something, and it's nice to go back and play it again. And it does look really nice. The dioramas are really well put together. The actual mechanics of what you're doing, very well done. But it's not going to light a fire anywhere. No. Like it's just a nice game.
I think it's one of them games where some of the PSVR2 players are appreciated, but other players will be like, "Why have you got this kind of thing?" which I find is sometimes is what you do get. It's like, why is this even here? But I was actually, when it was announced it was coming to PSVR2, I was actually really happy because I wanted to play it on Quest and I just never got around to it. And I said never got around to it. It only released like a week prior on Quest.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, cool. But as soon as they said, oh, it's now out on PSVR2, I was like, sweet. I've got the platinum on the non-VR version. Time to jump in and try and do that. And I mean, in terms of trophies, if you are a trophy hunter and you do want to add this one to your list, it's a fairly simple platinum. I think actually when I loaded it up, like I think I may have played it a day after it released on PSVR2, and I'm pretty sure like it already had like 5% people who have played it platinumed it. So like it's not a long game, and you can pretty much smash through it if you're.
Yeah, and it's one of those like find the hidden items in the level. So if you look to find out where they are, then it's really not going to take you long to get that platinum. But I would play it properly to enjoy it.
Yeah, do it properly first. Not like me, where I did with the non-VR version, where I kind of like went in for the platinum and actually went away really liking the game, and then kind of went back to playing the second. I think I played the PSVR version, PS4 version, then the PS5 version. And then I kind of did one with like a walkthrough when I was just going in for the trophies. And then the second time I was like, okay, no, I actually like this game. I want to enjoy it as it's meant to be. But no, very well done. But yeah, just some more VR elements would have been appreciated. But at the same time, I think, like I said, for a fan of the game, I think it's overall, it's got everything you could want from, the Hidden Memories game. So it's decent. Anything else, Alex?
And that's all I've played in terms of VR.
Okay.
I want to get a little bit of Walkabout Mini Golf.
Oh yes, we did. We played some
Walkabout Mini Golf, a little community night, which is very much enjoyable. Yeah. I threw it away in the back nine. Front nine was all going swimmingly. Back nine was a disaster.
I did amazing as always. I mean, I think I got 2 hole-in-ones back to back. I mean, it's practically unbelievable.
And then it exceeded shot limits in every other hole. Yeah.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. And that is believable. But there's one game that I've been wanting your thoughts on, just because, well, I never got Laurie's thoughts in it from when I don't even know if Laurie ever finished it, and I would like to know that too, actually. So, Laurie, if you do watch this, please let me know. But Alex, I want to hear your thoughts on the Midnight Walk.
Oh,
I know you've spoke about some of it on the Nukes Val, but I know, like I said, if anyone hasn't heard of the Nukes Val, go listen to it. It's Alex's other podcast. I say other podcast. It's very much his only podcast at this point, but the door is open, Alex. Well, not at the moment. It's closed.
Well, I'm here.
You are here. Maybe I've won him back. I've won his heart again. But yeah, if you haven't listened to Nukes Val, go there. They do great stuff. But like you spoke a bit about it there, and I think you mentioned briefly the VR mode. But I just wanted to know like your general thoughts of it, like when you finished it.
Like I genuinely loved it. I think just the whole world and the creation of that world and the amount of detail that went into it, and it was just all the little details that I appreciated, like the random shoes that were through there and things made out of different bits of furniture and what they'd done with books and all these little things, and like just that character you're just seeing, he's just too cute. I mean, like he is too cute.
I'm pretty sure the shoe belongs to the voice actor of Pop Boy that you mentioned. Yeah, he was actually clayed and then 3D scanned into the game or something along those lines.
But yeah, I mean, Pop Boy is just like something else. And I mean, I'm not spoiling anything, but I think we went to different directions, but it just was what had to be done, and like it was so well written. I think it was a good amount of humor in it. I really appreciated some of the humor of like the heads and the nobody town and all that stuff, and like just it was really well done. And I think you really not disappointed. That's the wrong word. I was almost quite nervous to this one because I'd always previewed really well. It always looked really good in the trailers, and it'd always been, and you was just that apprehension of, is this actually going to land? And it did. Like, and it was nice to play through it all in VR. And I think I did it in 2 nights. Like, it was that way. It did really grip me. And I'm like, yeah, go back in. I'm going to finish this. And just such the world building in such quite a short game. Like, it was absolutely astounding what they managed to achieve and the depth they created to that world in such a short experience. And yeah, I loved that.
Yeah, I still think, even though like And I know some people will say, "Oh, well, they haven't fixed the blah 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 in it at the moment," because I know they did a patch to fix the resolution and something else kind of messed up. But like even with like from the experience I had, and I can only go on the experience I had, and I haven't jumped back in after completing it and reviewing it and all that kind of stuff. I still think at this point, in terms of like a creation of a whole game in its entirety, I think that's still up there. It's probably one of my game of the years. Like just how original it was for me.
Yeah.
And I need to jump back in. I do want to get the platinum. I need to go through and get all the collectibles, and I will do that at some point. It's just again time, finding time to do so. That's the only thing I need to find time to do. No, I ain't gonna do this bank holiday into black.
I mean, the only thing was I didn't really appreciate, and I'm sure I said this in my review, was it was forcing me back into a closet, and I'm not like, come on, I've been out of that for a long time.
Joe, I so laugh at the developer watch this like, oh my god, we didn't realise what we've done. We're so sorry.
No. I mean, and as to your say with the patches and stuff, I played it right at the beginning before any of the patches came out, and again, it didn't bother me in terms of how I know it was maybe a wee bit soft looking and it probably looks a lot better now, but
it
was fine.
It looks a lot better, but this is going to sound really weird, and I kind of liked the haziness to it at the point because this whole thing of the kind of story, I feel like the haziness kind of played into the environment at the same time. I mean, I don't know if that was just me trying to make it sound like that's how it should be in my head, but I never kind of looked at it and went, "This looks bad" type of thing. It was more of like this could be clearer, but yeah, I never walked away disappointed.
Yeah.
I think that was like one of my highest rated games of this year so far. So
it's funny because now talking about that, and I've been thinking a lot. Anytime I've seen Keeper, and obviously you had Housey, and Housey was getting up, and the first time Housey got up, started walking along, and now then you've got Keeper coming along for Double Fine, and you basically got this walking lighthouse, and they just kind of, and it's a similar art style in that as well, and obviously it's just sheer coincidence because it takes that long to make a game. It's not like anybody's, but it's so similar to see that. But it's a completely different type of game and stuff. So do I. It's one of my favourite studios, and I'm really looking forward to that game. But I'm probably looking forward to it even more because I know how much I enjoyed Midnight Walk. So
yeah. Oh, I'm glad you liked it just as much as me. Maybe one day I'll hear Laurie's final thoughts on that game as well. I want to know what he decided to do at the end as well. So
I could see him doing the same as me.
So it was only me that were clearly the selfish person, but hey ho, it had to be done. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I have played 2 other games this week. I mean, obviously Hidden Memories, but I touched on that as well a bit with Alex. I tried Grit and Valor 1949. I hate this type of genre. Like, I absolutely despise real-time strategy, grid-based combat. It's not for me. It never has been. I think I remember trying one of them when I was a young wee T, and I young wee T. Yeah, I tried one of them, and I was like, ugh. And then I played Medal of Honor for the first time, and I was like, yeah, this is the shit. This is my life going forward, and it kind of was up until like some of the more recent Call of Duties, and yeah. So I've never tried these type of games again because I always thought I don't like them.
And here is I thinking we could play Call of Black Ops 7 co-op campaign.
I might play the campaign with you. If you're going to play the campaign, I'll probably play the campaign with you. But I don't think... and somebody mentioned this to me earlier on, actually, like, oh, do you want to play... I think it was either they mentioned Battlefield or playing another multiplayer game. And I was like, genuinely as it is in my life now, I can 100% say that I don't have the time to play multiplayer games, sink into leveling up, getting better at it when I then have to go do other stuff in my life and come back to it and everybody's 10 times better than me because I can't keep up with that kind of skill grind. I just can't do it anymore. It's too much of a headache. It's stressful, and I don't really want that. Like, I don't mind it every now and then, but not when it's like a £70 game and I'm only going to play it 2 hours every other night. It just doesn't seem right for me at this point in time in my life. So, yeah, I might play the campaign though. I completely disregard. I didn't even watch the trailer to it. I watched the multiplayer trailer they did, and I thought it looked absolutely abysmal because every character was just standing still. So there was like running around the corner, and the character was standing still there, which was quite funny. But yeah. Anyways, Grit and Valor. Yeah, I don't like this genre at all. But I was actually kind of surprised to find myself having fun with this when I thought I wasn't going to like it. And yeah, I enjoyed it. It has some quirks at the moment. There's some little bits and bobs that I think need a quality of life patch. Like if you go too fast with picking up your mechs, your hand will kind of go through them and it won't grip. The menu screens need to be a lot better. Like you need to press the X is like it's so tiny for some reason. I don't know why they've done this. So you kind of have to like really look to. I couldn't find the X on one of the menus at first because of how tiny it was, and the
Right.
color gradation going from the actual the exit tab and also the background just looked too much the same, so I couldn't actually spot it. And that's with prescription lenses on my PSVR2. I still couldn't spot it properly, so maybe I need to go back for an eye test. But yeah, it just certain things need a little bit of a quality of life patch. But overall, I think the game itself, I was actually enjoying myself with it, and that's coming from someone who absolutely hates this type of genre. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. I will definitely be playing more of it. I don't know if I'll play enough of it to kind of say it's like one of them games where I'm gonna kind of really, really like. I think I'll play it every now and then to kind of like maybe do an hour here and there. I don't think it's something I could sink my hours into and be happy with me sinking my
Yeah.
hours into. It's a weird one.
It's when it's not your genre, it's hard to force it into being your genre. It's like some things you like, some things you don't like, and that's just life. Like we all have different tastes.
I did try it in non-VR as well because I thought maybe I'm only trying this because it is VR. Maybe that's the only reason why I want to try it. And I was actually quite surprised to see I liked it in non-VR as well. But at the same point, it's a lot better in VR, so I would recommend doing it that way if you can. So I enjoyed that. And then going back to first-person shooty shite as Alex would call it. I tried some Hacks. It's called. It's a game that's been in development for quite some time on Quest, and it's finally released in 1.0. So I jumped into it, expecting to see a bustling lobby of players. It's dead. There's no one playing this game, like absolutely no one, and it's such a shame because it's actually a really decent shooter. It's kind of like your basic arcade style shooter, similar to how Call of Duty is. You have your different loadouts, you can customize your weapon, you unlock camos, customization for your character, you level up and all that kind of stuff. There's various modes where you capture certain control points. You've got all them type of game modes you'd be comfortable with. But one thing this game did actually quite unique is the magazine that you use to reload a weapon. You can use that as a grenade, or you can use it as a melee weapon, and then you can kind of deplete the energy as a melee weapon and reload your gun with it. They kind of really try to make that quite a unique method, and it does work that way. But at the same point, it's like I'm doing all this against bots, which makes me feel great. So I did notice the developer and some of the playtesters had a community night where they play and everybody jumps in. So I thought, Joe, what? To have an actual opinion of how this works in multiplayer, I'll jump into that. I have never felt so shit at a game before in my life. Now, bear in mind, I'm playing with the developers of the game. So obviously you're going to be a bit shit against them. And then I'm playing with people that have been playtesting this game for the past 4 years. I think I got maybe 1 kill. And I just they kept getting headshots against me the whole time. And I was
now you know how I feel.
I get it now. I understand why you don't want to play multiplayer shooters online. I completely understand it. I finished that match and I was like, okay, cool. I'm going to go. So yeah, I mean, if you play this game and you really want to sink time into it and get better at it, that's great. But without a steady player base at the moment, you're only going to be getting your practicing against people that are 10 times better than you. And yeah, that's not enjoyable for you to learn, which is a shame. I just think it needs more players at the moment. So, like, I mean, if it is a game that you are intrigued by, I'd say pick it up. If you're in our Discord, let me know. I'll jump in with you. Let's get like a nice little friendly kind of PvP matches going as opposed to absolutely getting destroyed by the people that made the game. But yeah, overall, I had some fun with it. But yeah, it needs more players. And that's pretty much all I played this week. That's what I've kept busy with.
You mean you've not been playing any Survivors likes?
I will allow you to talk about Survivor's likes.
I mean, Survivors likes are what's making the world go round for me at the minute. Like that's what you've lost me to.
It really is. I also noticed you've now changed your name to Alex Survives. To the point where I couldn't find you on
Blue Sky.
I think it was on Blue Sky, yeah, because it changed your name because it's still showing as SS Alex on the tab, and I'm like, can't find this dude. Does he delete his Blue Sky now and he's come back to Twitter?
No,
no, just he's changed his name to Alex Survives. And you've been streaming as well.
I have been streaming a lot, but I've done a few little streams, just challenging myself a wee bit, just put myself back out there and just try.
To be fair, your streams are bustling. You're doing well with it. You're getting people that are watching and things like that. You're getting the conversations going, which is always the thing you need with streaming. There's nothing worse when you're streaming and no one comes in. I say nothing worse. I mean, some people watch them back on video, so don't completely disregard the art form with that. Is kind of, some people do watch them back, so just treat it like you're talking about the game. It's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
But every time I've been in your stream, there's always people there talking. I mean, you got to affiliate, I think, quicker than I ever got to affiliate. So you're clearly doing something right, my friend. So just keep up that momentum. And I am enjoying watching you playing these survival games that I've not ever tried. So
I love it. Like genuinely, like they're just so addictive, and I think should be quite a fun few weeks coming up because there's a lot coming to console. So I'm going to be featuring quite a few of the new releases over the next few weeks, like with Deep Rock, because Deep Rock Galactic Survivors now coming to Xbox. So I'll definitely be playing more of that when it hits 1.0. We've got Karate Survivor coming to PlayStation next week, which is a random one, but it's actually very much fun. So I'll be streaming that. We've got Jotun Slayer Hordes of Hell, which was a Steam one. Early access goes to 1.0.
We've got that in the family library, haven't we?
Yeah, we do. That's coming to PlayStation and Xbox in the next couple of weeks. So
Is Achilles Survivor in the family library?
Yes, it is indeed.
Okay.
We've been playing a lot of Achilles Survivor, so basically streamed the whole game. I've got I'm on the last section just now, and it's a wee bit more difficult, but I will be streaming that again this weekend. So yeah, it's fun. It's nice. It's actually because streaming's always been something that I've been quite scared of.
I remember you saying, because it was something we always wanted to do, didn't we? For like
Yeah.
CrossButton to do streams, things like that. And it was like, we didn't know how we'd kind of do it and balance it out and things like that, to the point where it just sadly didn't
happen.
No, which is a shame, because like I said, in all seriousness, since you've been streaming, you've actually got a knack for it. You're balancing the chat while playing the game. You're not, it's very 50-50. And I think that's the juggling act, is the streaming. Yeah.
I think what gave me the confidence to go and stream these games is because I actually feel confident enough to talk about them, because I've got so familiar with so many of them that I feel like I actually know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
So it's like to that stage where, like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it with like something that I'm quite comfortable with, and it's almost like a comfort stream type thing. And then can maybe like branch it out a wee bit as the time goes on. But at least when I'm talking about this, like, because I started with Achilles Survivor and I played that in early access, so I knew how the game worked. So I'm a bit like, well, this does this and this does that, and we're kind of know what we're doing. But I just quite enjoy it, and it's like another thing that keeps me occupied and stops me from eating. So I mean, that's always good.
See, I thought I was going to opt back to kind of getting my healthy eating back this week. I say healthy eating, I mean, it's very been up and down ever since the house fire. I've kind of just been a bit, I mean, how else do you think someone could be after that? So I actually went for having a nice fruit breakfast this morning and things like that. And then I get home and my food, like my actual food to have in the evening, which was quite healthy, was still frozen. So I was like, want to get a pizza? Instantly just caved, like, can't be bothered with this. No, fucking done. So I'll jump back on that one soon again. But yeah, I think your valid point of actually like streaming a game and actually knowing what you're talking about. That's I think I noticed that a bit the other night, because I was playing Echoes of the End, which I must say is a very lovely looking game, like really nice. It's people keep comparing it to God of War, and in some regards, yes, it is similar to that. But somebody came in and was like, "So what's this game about?" And I'm like, "I've just done the first chapter, but this woman has powers. She can do this. Your brother's now missing, and I don't know who this guy is." Like, because so many things are happening, and most of the time while I'm playing it, I'm just going, I wish there was a fucking photo mode. This thing looks stunning. But either way, I'm really much enjoyed the game. But I think if I ever was to stream one set of genre, and I think it's going to sound random to people, I think farming sims, cozy game type things, and like Stardew Valley type games, Traveler's Rest. I don't know. There's something about those types of games at the moment. Just
what about that new one that came out? Is it Discounty? That looks quite fun, and it's basically you managing a supermarket.
Is that on Steam?
Yeah, it's just come out in Steam and consoles. Discounty. It's called like Discount 12i.
Okay, I'm gonna have to look at that one afterwards. I'll take a look at that. I've not seen that one. I usually find just kind of coming out of nowhere, and but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. It's not ramble on for too long.
No, it's been nice being back. Thank you for having me. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for playing with me.
Inviting you. You don't have to be invited. You can just say I'm coming on this week, and I'm like, sweet, that's sorted.
Well, who knows? I'll maybe be back again soon. We'll see.
Yeah. So, do you want to go play some Into Black then?
Oh, go on then.
All right, cool. See you later, everyone. Oh wait, now I've got to do the actual outro. God, Yeah. Oh, Joel, I've completely forgot to even do everything else. Alex, you've completely thrown me off a game.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. Anyone that's not a member, you can go to Ko-fi, support the channel if you want to do that there. A big shout out to Phil and Golo. Sorry for this half-assed ending here because I've completely forgot.
He just got overexcited.
I did. Alex is here, and I'm like, damn, man, this feels like how it was originally. So, yeah, thank you, Golo and Phil, all the time, man. I appreciate it a lot for the monthly membership. If people here aren't already in the Discord, make sure to hop on over. You can find it in our link tree. It's in the description here. Hop over to our Discord, get chatting. We do giveaways. We just talk about games and VR stuff mainly, but you can talk about non-VR there as well. So if you're not already there, do that. And yeah, hit that subscribe button, all that kind of jazz. And with that, we're going to play Into Black. I think this kind of tells you how good the game is to the point where I kind of just want to... Yep, cool. Right.